Happy Monday evening, everybody, and welcome to the Nona Boss Continuum. Tonight we're gonna have I've got Marian in the green room back here, and her and I are gonna get the show started in just a moment. But before we do, there is something that I need to. Whoops, sorry, I don't know what happened to my camera there. There is something that I need to address before we get going. And I know that you guys come to my channel because you're looking for information and you're looking for drama-free space, right? And I have been trying my hardest to walk the very thin line to make sure that I do not bring drama to my channel. Unfortunately, it has come to my attention that there are channels out there currently actively coordinating efforts to suppress my channel, to convince people to unsubscribe from my channel, to implant spies, if you will, in my chats, in my comments. And I feel like at this point, I need to bring this to your attention. Reason being is because, quite frankly, I'm done. I'm done playing. I'm done sitting back and not saying anything. This has been going on for about a month. So if any of you are wondering as to why there's only 8 of you in my chat tonight, when normally I have, 35, 40, sometimes even more than that in my chat. This is why. This is why. Case in point, take a look at this. Need I say more? Now, if I wanted to, I could name names. If I wanted to, I could name these channels. But I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to go and step down to their level. I'm just not doing that. But I will say, here's what I will say. These are channels that at one point I had aligned myself with. Call me naive. Call me the positivity queen, thinking that having closeness or having friendships with people was a good thing. But I can tell you that unfortunately, it has not been a good thing. It has not been a good thing for me at all. Because unfortunately, there are people out there who are either jealous or, I don't know, they rather, maybe, I don't know, maybe they just don't care who they step over to get where they want to be, to get where they're going. And I'm not playing the game. And because I won't play the game and I won't bend the knee to certain other channels, and I won't align myself with the thought processes of others and be a follower, now I'm being punished for that. Yeah. So because I'm a free thinker and because I think for myself and I ask questions and I fact check and I background check, because unfortunately, that's what I've had to start doing now, is background checking people that I call my friends. Because what I have found out over quite a little bit of time is that there's a lot of these people are nothing but charlatans, and they're cult leaders who spin narratives to do nothing but further their bank accounts. Yeah. You guys think that they are one thing because that's what they're presenting to you. That's what they're presenting. But that doesn't mean that that's what they are and who they are inside. Okay? Now, if I lose subscribers, even more than I already have, so be it. So be it. It is what it is. Because I'm not here for that. I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here for the alliances that people seem to think that I need to choose a side in their drama, not my drama. Right? I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So if there's only 10 of you that show up every single week, then there's 10 of you that show up every single week. I don't need anything else. I want to do this because I love doing it. And what I have been going through over the last few weeks, I'm not finding joy in this anymore. I'm no longer finding it fun. I'm no longer finding it I don't get peace from it anymore, right? It used to, when there's something that comes in my life and it no longer serves me in a positive way, I think you guys know me by now. I just cut it out. I don't do it anymore. And that's the point that I'm at. And this is the reason I'm bringing it to your attention. Because currently, right now, what I'm going through right now in the moment, I have come to the conclusion that I may just, I don't know. I don't know. I may not be here anymore, guys. I just may not. Because I don't need the aggravation. I don't need to feel a struggle that every single time I'm here to be with you guys to share information and to bring you amazing researchers who have these amazing stories. And, you know, that's my goal. It is not about how many viewers I have or how many subscribers I have or how many super chats I made, or it's not about that for me. It is not about that for me. I don't even, I half the time, sometimes I don't even promote my shows because it's not about that for me. But if I'm going to be under attack, literally just because I don't pick a side in someone else's war, that is not fun. That is not what I want to be here for. It's not what I'm here for. It's really not. These particular channels are channels that I used to align myself with and no longer do. Number one, for personal reasons that I will not go into unless they force my hand. If they force my hand, I will. I'll tell you that right now. If they force my hand, I will. So they better not. They know who they are. And don't think that they're not lurking. Don't think that they're not paying attention. Don't think that they're not watching your comments right now. The support that you guys are giving me, don't think that they're not watching, because they're watching. And then they're tattletaling, and then they're screenshotting and sending it to other people. Like they're just waiting for me to say something. They're just dying for me to say something. That's what they're doing. And it's really sick. Sick, it's twisted, and has no place in my life. And I know that it has no place in you guys' lives either. You know? And I'll tell you, when you are so, when, let me start this, let me say that again. When there are people out there that are so insecure about their own channels and about their own stuff, that they think that they have to convince you to come to their shows and to see their shows, they have to convince you that I have a terrible show or that I'm not worthy of your viewership. There's something wrong with that. There's something really wrong with that. But here's the thing. They need to remember one thing. They need to do not take my silence as weakness. Just because I am about spreading love and kindness doesn't mean I'm a weak individual, because I am a force to be reckoned with. That's the part that they don't get. That's the part that they're afraid of. That's the part that they're worried about, because I am. You see the sign behind me? Behind every successful woman is herself. That sign is not there by accident. I have had to remake myself so many times, over and over. I am going to get as real as I can with you guys tonight before we get to this topic. I'm sorry, but I'm going there. I've been to very low places in my life. Very low. There have been times in my life when I have been homeless. There have been times in my life where I had nothing. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a dime to my name. And I have worked hard. And I have put the blood, sweat, and tears and made myself. I did that. I did that. I didn't rely on anybody else's coattails. I didn't rely on anybody else to help me. I did it by myself. So if they're concerned about how strong I am, because I am, I have come through things that people only speculate about. And I have brought myself to a place in my life where their petty BS is nothing. Their petty BS is absolutely worthless, has no meaning, has no place in this arena. None. None. And they can say all these things under the guise of, oh, well, we stand with this person and we stand with that person and that person stands with this and da 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 da. You know what I say? You guys are nothing but followers. Try being a leader. Be a leader. Spread love and kindness, and not just to the people you like, and not just the people that you want something from. Be nice to everybody because everybody deserves to be nice too, and everybody deserves to be respected. And that's how I feel about it. Now, what I will tell you, I have on my channel, I have a list of channels. It's called, the tab is called recommended channel section. Those are the channels that I recommend. Okay. If they're not on that list of recommended channels, they are not channels I support. Let me put it to you that way. Okay. If they're not on that list, I don't support them. Now, could be that I don't know about their channel. Maybe I don't know about the person's channel. I don't know. But what I can tell you this moment, in this time, right now, today, the list that is there, those are the channels that I recommend. Those are the channels that I support. Okay? If they're not on the list, then I don't support them. And I have damn good reason not to. Damn good reason. Because people lie. People are lying to you. They are lying about a lot of things. But you're smart enough to know. You're smart enough. I know it. I know you. If you are watching my show, you are smart enough to know who I'm talking about, and you are smart enough to see between the lines. I don't need to say names of channels or people. I know you guys are smart enough to figure it out, because I'm not going to stoop to the level that some of these channels are doing. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself why they're doing it. And it's not for some noble cause. I can assure you that. That much I can assure you. And like I said, I got proof. I got plenty of proof. And if I need to, I'll show it. So that's where we are today and in this moment. I want to continue to do this. I want to continue to do this for the people who know my heart, for the people who do know the position of my heart. And I want to continue to do this because I want to find the joy in it again. I want to find the love that I had for doing this. I don't want it to be about drama. I don't want it to be about this. It's not what I'm here for. It's not what I'm here for. But again, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. Do not mistake my silence for weakness. Do not. Do not. Because I know you're out there watching and I know you're out there lurking. Just remember one thing. I have all the proof I need. All of it. All of it. So if you want to keep effing with me, it's going to come out. And I'm going to bring it out. And I'm going to show it. I'm going to let people see exactly what you're like and exactly who you are. Okay? So leave me alone. Cut the shit and leave me alone and just let me do my show. Now, having said all of that, I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate everyone for allowing me to get this off my chest. Thank you very much. And I am gonna say hi to everybody who is here, and then I'm gonna bring Marian on, and we are gonna talk some hiking basics. So, hey there, Jim. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. And little Patty, thank you, little Patty. I really appreciate your support. You're always here every week. And I've got Gary, and I've got Miss Jane in the house. I've got Miss Dina in the house. Miss Dina. Marian and I were just talking about the Ocala conference. So I'm hoping you're coming again it's in June next year. So they just announced everything. Thomas, thank you for being here. My mouse is sticking again, guys. I'm sorry to say. And I think I saw, there it is. There's Thomas. Hi, Thomas. Thanks for being here. Let's see. Thank you, Gary. They know better than talk to you about leaving here. Yeah, I appreciate it. Hey there, Roger. How are you? Hi, how are you, Jamie? How are you doing tonight? Hi, Carol. How are you? Jane and Garyl's channels are on my recommended channels. Definitely, if you have not already, go over and subscribe to them. They have a great channel. And they just started this really cool thing that I love. I saw it the other day, this like 360 camera thing. It's cool. You have to go. If you don't already subscribe to them, definitely go over and subscribe to them because they've got some cams that they have up. It's cool. It is cool. I want one. I need one of those in my life. All right. If I missed anybody, I thought I saw Patrick. Did I miss your comment, Patrick? Thought I saw Patrick, my buddy Patrick. I could have swore I saw Patrick in here. Mr. Patrick Noble. Did I miss your comment? I'm looking. I also saw Brian. Brian was in here for a hot minute. There he is. I'm smiling. I'm smiling. I just had to get a little on the serious side. So people totally get it. Jean, thank you so much. Thank you. Love you so much. You guys are amazing. So amazing. Shucking it down with cornbread. He is here now. And Mr. Brian Barber. That's right. Spread love and kindness. Thank you. Because that is like my goal, guys. Like, seriously. Thank you, Dina. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys so much for all your support. It means a lot to me. All right. Flat Rock. Hi, Flat Rock. Flat Rock, Matt and I were just talking not long ago. We were talking about maybe wanting to see if we could maybe come up and visit you and spend a little time with you. Let's see. All right. I think I got everybody. All right, guys, let's bring Miss Marian on. She's been super patient, and I promise, I am so sorry, but I had to say all what I had to say. My apologies, but had to do it. Marian,
hey, doing good.
Thank you for allowing me to get on my soapbox there for a moment.
Oh, it sounds like it needed to be done.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it really did. It needed to be said. But you and I talked about this topic the night that we were trying to do a live on our night hike.
yeah.
We were trying. I kept trying to get a signal strong enough, and it was weird because it let me create it. It let me create the live, but then it wouldn't. It kept saying that my signal wasn't strong enough to do the live.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, so You and I, we were on that was such a weird hike, right?
Yeah, that was the one at Goeth when we had we both got really, really creeped out at the same place.
We got, not only did we get creeped out at the same place, we ended up meeting a lady later on, and she said her and her horse got spooked in the exact same spot you and I got creeped out at.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Mhm.
yeah, you and I started talking about, like, hey, maybe we should do a show about just like the basics of hiking and some, like not only just the basics, but also like what we should, what you should consider we put in our packs and all that kind of stuff.
Things that made our life easier.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
So, oh, if I can get my mouse to work. So one of the things that when I was doing my research, one of the things for this show tonight, I wanted to kind of touch on um, are just kind of like really like just basics of how to hike. You know what I mean? Like how to hike. Because yes, had I been hiking, but in all honesty, I just kind of always like my kids knew, my boys knew how to hike, right? So I was just all like, "Oh, you're walking down that way? Okay, I'll walk down that way with you." You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I had no idea how it all worked.
Hmm.
So let's talk about just kind of some of those things, like like following trail markers and things like that.
For me, I'm kind of with you. As far as how to hike, my thing is what to bring with me. Because a lot of times I go out by myself and I think, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? I don't have any signal. I only have SOS. What if I'm stuck out here for 3 days?
Yep.
Things like that. So for me, I've always been interested in the equipment, how much equipment to have, and I'm always trying to make my pack lighter. It gets
Yes.
ridiculous. By the time you put all the big footing equipment in there, your pack is 10 pounds already.
Right. Right.
So just some of the things some of the things that I know. I know you were talking about some apps you found.
I did. I did find some apps. We're going to get to that in just a bit. But I wanted to just kind of like one of the things, I guess, for me, because, you know, I can't do a lot of like super, I mean, I can't go hiking for, 25 miles. Like, I just
No.
can't do that. I'm too
Right.
old for that. I am way too old to be doing a
That's why
25,
I got a
30 mile.
bike.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got a new bike.
Yeah, so like, you have to kind of like when you're hiking, we all kind of have to keep in mind what our physical level is, right? And what each individual person's physical level is, right? And as far as like if they're going on maybe it's a trail that has a lot of inclines. Like holy cow, when I was in Torreya with Stacy and Matt and
Oh,
Connor,
yeah.
girl, I was huffing it. I was like, because those trails are like straight down, straight up,
I got,
straight down.
yeah, I got lost on I guess they call it the endurance section. The Torreya Challenge. That's what it is. The Torreya Challenge. I took a wrong turn because I had been there for years and the hurricane knocked everything down. And yeah, yeah. After a while, I
Yes,
was like,
yes.
oh my God.
Yes. So it's like so like literally, like, so like one of the things we got to think about is like what our endurance levels are and how we are physically. And definitely before you guys go on a hike, make sure kind of like look at where you're hiking and what kind of like, you know, um, you know, are there hills? Is it flat? Is it swampy? Is it, because that's happened to me too. I've even gone to places down here where there shouldn't be swamp water, but we've had a lot of rain and it is swampy. And then I get stuck and I'm like, oh Lord, this
Yeah,
is,
it's better to do a short hike than to get too far and then turn around and realize you got to walk all the way back. It just takes all the fun out of it.
it does. It does. It does. And
Um,
then, and then they always have trail markers, right? So like a lot of times when you're like certain areas, or if you're in a state park or a national park, that kind of thing, they'll have like reflectors, or they'll have colors, and each trail will have a specific color. A yellow, it's the yellow trail, the green trail, the purple trail, or the
I
red
hate to say
trail.
it though, I've found some places they don't. They'll have roads on there that's not marked on the map. They'll have
Mm-hmm.
trails. That happened to me. I was in Nova a couple weeks ago, and I had a map, and I'm following what was a mode trail, and ended up starting to head north. And I'm like, this is not supposed to head north. It's supposed to keep going east, because I was heading towards the river. And I guess they just didn't maintain it or something like that. And somebody mowed some path off. And next thing you know, I'm 2 miles in the opposite
Mm-hmm.
direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you do,
Yeah.
even though they do have trails and they have maps, research the area before you go in. Research the area before you go in. That way, if you do get lost, you have some idea. You know, you don't want to cut cross country and run into a swamp.
Exactly.
You know, they say most of the time it's better just turn around and backtrack. Even though it's longer, it's better to turn around and backtrack. They say a lot of people get lost when they keep continuing to go in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that happened to me too. It was on Labor Day weekend when I was doing a hike in out in Big Cypress. I was doing a hike, and there should have been a specific. I should have been able to just kind of like make a hard left, and it would have taken me. It was like a shortcut to another trail, right? I got there. It was completely impassable. I couldn't get there. And so I had to do one of two things. I had to either turn around and go all the way back, or I had to continue down another part of another trail that brought me all the way around. And I was like, yeah, so you have to kind of be, so you do have to, let's get to some of the things we take in our pack. I mean, definitely make sure water. Make sure you have hydration. You definitely have. That's like,
yeah, or even just in case, I bring water, but I also bring one of those Sawyer mini pumps, one of the straws, something like that. So that way, if I do run out of water, at least I can get something.
absolutely.
And one rule to remember is 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So, 2 flashlights is 1 in an emergency, because you never know. The batteries might go out, the flame might go out. You don't want to be down to nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
Somebody was saying topo map.
Yeah.
Florida, topo maps, we don't go up and down so much, but I will say that what's helped me has been going online to Google Earth or something and getting a satellite picture. Because if you find one of the maps, that way I know where the cypress heads are. I know where the wet areas are.
Right.
Just by looking at the trees in the satellite. If I were up in Georgia or something like that, definitely topo maps. Because, they have, up and down and gullies and ridges and such like that. Florida, it's mainly you're either dry or you're in the swamp.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and learn, I mean, I don't know about like, making sure you have something that can help you find direction, whether that's just a physical compass, learning how to use a physical compass, or I mean, I don't know if anybody, maybe some people don't know this, but on your cell phones, there is a compass on your cell phone. I even have one on my Apple Watch.
And see, there goes that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. You have your cell phone. You can bring a compass, small ones that hang around your neck. Don't get too cheap. You get too cheap, they get air bubbles in them. They're not worth anything. Also, GPS. What's nice about a GPS, they're a little bit more expensive, but I always turn it on and just throw it in my pack, because it can keep track while it's in your pack. And then if I do get lost, you can backtrack.
That's right.
You can follow all your steps almost exactly. But yeah, that way you've got your phone, you got a compass. If you have a GPS, that's 3 items that'll get you out of there.
Absolutely.
And
one of the other things too is, like first aid kit with some basic first aid stuff, like, and like the little first aid kit that I take, right, that I have in my pack, kind of has a variety of everything, but it also has in there like instructions on if this happens, for this kind of wound or this, or use this for that, use this for like so I like the first aid kits that kind of have a little instruction, because sometimes people in the moment, in the middle of an emergency, sometimes we forget some crucial things, right? To be able to handle like, emergency situations as far as like injuries and stuff. So
Well, I know mine saved me because I have, like you said, I have one, and what I have in is Benadryl, because I know, my son, and yeah, I ended up stepping on a yellow jacket nest and ended up getting stung a million. It felt like a million times. It wasn't. All I know is the first thing I did as soon as I got clear of him was I opened my pack, got out the Benadryl, took a couple Benadryl, and sure enough, about 20 minutes later, my face started swelling, and the Benadryl kicked in and it quit swelling. So I could have been in a bad position if I didn't have a medical kit with me.
I'll tell you one thing that I keep Benadryl. I also have I have Benadryl pills, like in the pill form. And then I also have like a cream, like an anti-itch cream. I think it's Allegra, or the Allegra brand for like for topical. But my secret weapon, because here in Florida, snakes there's so many venomous snakes here. We have a lot of different varieties of venomous snakes. And the one thing I have in my emergency kit is Xanax. Because if you get bit by a snake, you need to stay calm.
Yep.
If you're not calm, your heart is racing, your heart is pumping, bum, 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 and it's just pumping the venom faster. So I do have Xanax. It's prescribed. Teeny little bit, 0.25 milligram. And I keep that. I have a couple of little pills in there in my bag. I am this little Ziploc bag, because you just never know. But it can keep you calm so that it doesn't, kind of rush through your veins as quickly as as if you're like really, really like,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing I do keep in my bag.
Florida bug spray. I know most of the kits have these little bug wipes. No, you don't want to be stuck out there with mosquitoes. Those little wipes are not going to keep them off of,
They will not.
I've seen those little, I guess they're the little tubes, almost like, the 1-day shots, the little mini things you can carry. I found out you can unscrew some of them. I forget which brand it is, and refill it again. So you're not having to buy more of them. So I carry a lot of those. Duct tape, paracord,
zip ties,
knife, garbage bag.
Yes.
A big contractor size garbage bag is very handy. You can use it as lay it on the ground. You can cover yourself with it, sleeping bag, drag somebody out on it. It's got a lot of uses.
Yes.
Panty liners. What? Yeah.
Those can be for wounds, and so can the other type of female.
Well, let me tell you, when you're on the
those in there too.
bathroom, but when you got to go to the bathroom, I don't like dragging out toilet paper.
Yeah.
So I just shake a little bit. The panty liner takes care of the rest.
That works.
That's what I do. Okay. Because I really don't want to walk around with wet underwear, and I don't.
No.
And I don't like seeing the little pieces of,
Yeah, we gotta. You always gotta remember to kind of like leave leave everything cleaner than you found it. Sometimes, right? I do that. I always have I always bring an extra trash bag, because like if I find trash, I clean it up. I take it out with me. I'll take it out. Let's see. One of the other.
Knife. I saw somebody said knife and a multi-tool.
Yes, the multi-tool.
A good multi-tool, not a little dinky one, keychain one. They won't last. You want a good multi-tool because it has, the can opener, all this and that. But you also want a good fixed blade knife with a full tang that you can pound things with. You can use like an axe if you need to, something like that.
Safety whistles are another thing too that are really good.
Yeah. I mean, you can only shout for help for so much.
That's
Your
right.
voice is going to go, you're going to drink all your water, but you can whistle a lot longer and the sound will carry a lot farther.
Yeah.
Plus, it'll be unusual. You hear this whistle going 3 times somewhere. You automatically, anybody hears it's going to know somebody's in trouble.
Yeah. A headlamp or a flashlight.
That's something I wanted to tell people about. I don't know how many people are familiar with comparing flashlights and such, but it's important that you do. Most flashlights now, by law, I believe, they have to have a little chart. I'm just looking at one over here that tells you, an example is there's 3 different headlamps, which I prefer headlamps. They last longer than a flashlight will, and they're a lot lighter. But there is one that all 3 were rechargeable. 2 were 400 lumens. One was 450. One was only $24.99. The other was $59, and the other one was $65. Well, the $24.99, when I looked at it, it turned out it'll only do 400 lumens in 30 seconds. After that, the battery's gone. That's all you get. I don't know how many people know to read that. And the other 2, the one that was 59, you could do the full 400 lumens for 2 hours. The one that was 64, you get 400 lumens for 4 hours. So there is a difference. It's not just price. You need to look on the back and at those little charts to get the best one. Because if I almost bought the $24.99 until I saw that, because I thought that's a great price for a rechargeable headlamp.
Yeah.
With 400 lumens. But no, turn it on the right time.
Another thing that I have in my pack as well too is, okay, so I don't know if anybody knows this, but if you have any prescription medication, prescription medication bottles are 100% waterproof, right? You can store so many different kinds of things inside there, inside those, and you could, take off your prescription label, obviously. And so what I did, I actually took some cotton balls and I took Vaseline and I just saturated a bunch of cotton balls with, just got them all, and I put them in that prescription, medication bottle. They're going to be airtight all the time. And then I have my waterproof matches. And if I ever need to start a fire and my lighter doesn't work or my fire starter doesn't work, if all else fails, I know I can get a fire going with that. And it's just super simple, easy. Vaseline, cotton balls, and it's easy.
You need to practice the floor to make a fire. Most everything's damp. It's not as easy as everybody thinks. I carry a lighter. I carry a ferro rod with the magnesium bar, and like you said, a tinder of some type. Cotton balls with Vaseline are great. Potato chips are great. Birthday candles, you get it lit, they'll burn for a while. And those things, those hurricane proof.
Yep. Dryer lint, even dryer lint. You're right about that, Thomas. Yes.
But one thing I do know, when you get lighters, get the ones that you can see through. Because there's nothing like trying to fit how much do I have left in this? I want to be able to look at it.
Right.
Especially if you're out there and you're trying to, conserve stuff because you don't know how long you're going to be. It's nice to look at your lighter and think, maybe I need to try something else.
Yep.
It's not as easy as people think.
It's not.
Start a good fire and keep it going.
And after 45 seasons of Survivor that I've watched, I still laugh sometimes. I'm like, have any of these contestants ever watched how to do this? You know what I mean? It's so much harder to do it in real life. It really is. It's not an easy thing. Like when we go camping on our campouts, we always bring those fire starter logs and stuff like that. But to literally be out there trying to, make a fire, watch some YouTube videos, guys, on how to do it. It's super important to know how to do it just in case of an emergency. It could, Fire, water is life. It is your life. You can go a long time without some food, and you may be lucky to get food while you're out there if you're stranded, but you need water and you need fire. So those are like the big two things you got to kind of really focus on, knowing that and first aid. Now, we talked a little bit about some apps, and I started, but let me put it up there. Lala, thank you so much. First of all, I love you. Second of all, I just got to tell you, you are so beautiful. Like every single time I see you on Grizzly's show, I'm like, oh my God, look at her. She's so pretty. Look at her eyes. Like she's so gorgeous. Isn't she beautiful, everybody? Like she's so sweet. She's amazing. I love her. I love her. I love her. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that super chat. Where is it? Here it is. Jim mentioned All Trails, which is cool because that's the app that Chris was using.
Yeah.
Chris Hensley was using on our camp out, and I had never seen that app before. That was cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was really cool because it kind of like, actually, you know what? I have, and just so everybody knows, I tried to put the list of these apps in the description and it wasn't saving it. So I will put the list of all of these apps. I'm going to put them in the description after the show is over. But All Trails offers, here's the description. All Trails offers a vast database of trails with detailed maps, reviews, and photos. You can track your route, get GPS directions, and even download maps for offline use. So that is a fabulous app.
Except if you want to go off trail like we do.
Yeah, right. Especially if you go off trail like we do. Absolutely. One of the other ones that I think that is very important is another one. Let me really quick find it. It's called capital S Survival Guide. This app was developed by a former SAS soldier. This app offers essential survival information, including tips on navigation, first aid, and what to do in emergency situations. That app is a must. Absolutely a must. You definitely want to look into that. And the Red Cross has a first aid app that you can get. And it helps provide step-by-step instructions for dealing with like common first aid situations. It's a real valuable resource. Let me see. Hold on. There's the weather. Definitely have a weather app. Either like AccuWeather or Weather Underground, something like that. So you know if you've got weather coming in that you didn't expect.
Some radar. I've had AccuWeather and it says, oh, it'll be raining in 45 minutes. And I look at the radar and there's nothing there, or vice versa. I've had it said rain not expected in the next 60 minutes, but yet there's this giant cloud coming down on me. And sure enough, 15 minutes later, kaboom. So,
that's Florida
radar app, not just weather, radar.
Yeah. But there's so many amazing, also too, a lot of people also, as far as like plants, trying to figure out what kind of plant you're looking at or what kind of plants are around you. Whether it's poison ivy or poison oak, plants you don't want to eat or plants.
I do want to say, I read about, they're having a problem on Amazon, I guess. There's some people go out there doing courses on how to get AI to write books.
Mm-hmm.
And there have been some books put out on forage.
You froze for just a second there.
There's somebody.
Go back and say that because you froze just for a moment.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's some courses out there that people are putting out on how to write books using AI. Tell the AI what you want, it writes the book for you. The problem is they found some books on foraging in nature, and
That
they
we're
were
not.
wrong. Yes,
Ah.
they had
Oh,
poison
okay.
stuff
So
in them.
everybody be careful then.
You know,
Freaky Geek makes a good point. How good are apps if you have no signal? All of these apps that I'm talking about that I've mentioned have offline, like you can download them, like your trail that you're at or the area that you're at, and download them and use them offline. So you wouldn't need to have a signal or need to have Wi-Fi.
which brings up another point. I also carry a power pack.
Yes.
And I carry a cable. Walmart sells cables that have 3 different ends: a micro, a C, and the one for Apple with the power pack. So if your phone does start to run out, like what happened to us when we were hiking.
Oh, Patrick, thank you so much. I love to just have a good woman to hike with, because if she carries a purse, we're good for at least a week. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm your girl, Patrick. I'm telling you, if you saw what I have in my purse, like you'd be like, oh my God, like, yeah. I'm the girl, man. Let me tell you, I got all my bases covered, pretty much every base.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Some of the head little cameras, not cameras, flashlights, headsets. They're starting to come where dual fuel, where you could use batteries or rechargeable. They have rechargeable packs. I started looking at those.
Yeah.
So, because batteries get heavy, whereas a power pack, you could probably do 2 or 3 recharges on one power pack. So I'm starting to look at those.
And they also have so many solar options, which is something that I need to look into, because it's one thing that I'm lacking in my little, like, in my pack. Like I don't, because you can get like solar, like a solar panel kind of thing, and then you can just charge just about everything and anything off of that.
You need to read up on them though. Some of them are slow, very, very slow. You know, I have a power pack that's
Good night,
I don't know,
Gene. I love
10,000
you.
or so. But to recharge it, it would take several days of good sunlight to recharge it. So that's kind of it's great if you're out there for a week and you have nothing else, but I wouldn't rely on the solar charging it in time to be useful, in an emergency situation.
Yeah. But just in case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because like what happened, remember what happened to mine when we were in Goeth?
Yeah.
What happened to my battery pack that I relied on? It was dead. It was like, and I had just charged it the night before and I knew it was fine. And yet when we were out there, I went to use it and it was dead. I hadn't even used it. So it can happen. It can really happen. And so like, it's not, your pack gets heavy. And because of that fact, kind of try to judge kind of what it is, what type of hike you're doing, the area that you're at, how many people are with you. Now, see, when we were in Goeth, one of the things that I did, I actually didn't carry my pack, but there were several other people that had packs, and I bought, and this is the first time I used it, I had never used it before, I had bought a vest. It was like a very lightweight vest that had tons and tons of pockets all over the place, which for me personally was amazing. But that's if you're going out with a group of people who kind of everybody has a little of everything that you need kind of distributed throughout the group. But I would never myself just go out hiking with me and maybe one other person just with that vest. I would not do that. That's not smart. In my opinion.
Oh, I know. I've passed people on trails and they've got little yoga pants and a little shirt and their little water bottle. And I'm thinking, man, if you've stepped in a hole and
they're all like walking around going, look, I got my water.
And I look kind of dorky because I'm hot and sweaty and I've got this huge pack, but I'm thinking if something happened, who's getting out of here and who's not? You know what I mean?
It's funny to me too, because I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
You're not in your yuppie neighborhood. What are you doing?
No.
What are you doing out here in your yoga pants and your flip flops?
Oh yes,
Not
that was something else too. You know, invest.
I'm sorry, I'm still sipping on my tea. I've been so sick all weekend. Today is the first day I've actually had a voice, guys. I'm on antibiotics and the whole deal. So forgive me, I'm coughing and sneezing still. But so one of the biggest things we got to make sure we do when we go anywhere hiking or camping, we have to read the fine print really, really well. And look for those restricted areas. We learned the lesson the hard way.
We thought we had a primitive camp because it didn't have a toilet. The toilet was 150 yards elsewhere. But they considered that, they didn't consider it primitive because the toilet's flushed, even though they're 150 yards some other way. So when the small print or the medium-sized print said that people with camping passes were allowed to go in the area, primitive camping, here we are. But it was their definition of what's a primitive camp and what's not a primitive camp.
Yeah, and because like some areas, and I found this out later, Matt helped me figure it out, where we could have applied for a permit.
Yeah.
We could have applied for a permit and we would have been fine, but we didn't apply for the permit. And when that happens, this is what happens, okay? This is what happens. You get one of these.
Well, we're lucky we got these. We weren't driving. Yeah.
I'm going to frame it. I
got to warn
you first being out there looking for Bigfoot. Okay?
I still think we can make a case, okay? We could make a case because I read all over. It wasn't until you got to the small print and you linked here and you linked there and you linked there and you went to the FWC regulations that you finally found the difference.
Yeah.
And that's ridiculous.
Hang on one second. Hang on one second. I got to bring something up here real quick. Hold on. I got to find it. Hang on. Oh, wait, these are videos. No, I don't want the video. I want.
Yes, little Patty. Wear hiking boots, not tennis shoes. Yes.
And don't wear shorts. I have shown up. I have shown up to meet people to go hiking with, and said people were in shorts. And that's dangerous.
Well, you can't, it's hard to go cross country in shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find this.
And I was going to say, I wear, I'm older and I'm thicker, but I wear men's hiking pants because they have pockets. I've looked at all these other hiking pants, Columbia stuff. You can barely get your phone in the pocket. I want pockets.
Yes.
Big ones, so I can carry everything in there. I
have a really good a couple of pairs of really good hiking pants. And they're very, they're very light. They're very here it is. Here we go. Hold on. Let me bring this up. Let me open this up. And and they have a lot of pockets, little zippers, little this, little that. They're amazing. And, and socks. Have extra socks. Make sure you have extra socks. You have to take care of your feet. All right. So let me share this. Share screen. Here we are. The gangsters. All of us gangstas. That is all of us getting our warnings and citations. Every time I think of that, I can't help but laugh because It was so comical. Well, it wasn't comical in the moment. Yeah, it was. It was. Because we were like, they're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing here? And we're all like, looking for Bigfoot.
Yes, I know. That's what do we say? We all look at each other, especially when they're saying like, who's carrying? We're all like, oh, geez.
Yeah, we're looking for Bigfoot. That's what we're doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm. And if anybody is wondering, the person taking the photo is the FWC officer, which was even more comical from my perspective. He was like, I'm like, would you mind taking a group photo? And he goes, oh, yeah, sure. And I go, can you put on the lights? Can you put the blue lights on? And he goes, oh, okay. And he tells his partner, put the blue lights on. So he puts the blue lights on. He takes the photo. And then he looks at the photo and he goes, oh, we can't see it very well. So then he begins to instruct his partner to turn off the lights. Takes another photo.
We're lucky. I mean, they could have said we're not taking it serious enough and then gave us all more than a warning.
Right? Mm-hmm. They could have, but they were laughing too. They were
yeah, crazy Bigfoot people.
Yeah, it was great. It was hilarious. Oh my gosh. Oh, Brian. Okay, so here's the deal. Did we ask them what defines a skunk ape? Officer friendly. You're right, Jim. It was officer friendly. Okay, so I don't know if everybody's familiar with this or not. So hang on. Let me find it, Brian. Hold on one second. Let me find the Lower Swanee. Hold on. And I will put it up. So just in case, because I don't know. Yeah, because I don't know who, I'm not sure who knows about it and who doesn't know about it. Hold on.
Yeah, it's kind of a sneaky thing to do if you think about it.
Hang on, let me find it. I got to remember what I did with that. Oh, here it is. Okay, hold on. Let me open it up and then. Okay. All right, now I got to share my screen. And then we're going to wrap it up, guys. We'll wrap it up because I know there's other shows y'all want to get to. So it's all good. I get it. I think it's here. Okay, so down here. All right, this is the, this right here is the pamphlet for the Lower Swanee. This is put out by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. What that means is this is a federal document. This is not a Florida state. This is not something just the Lower Swanee, yes, is someplace in Florida, but this is put out and written by the federal government. I just want to make that clear. So I will enlarge it. And I will slide it over to the hog section right here in the middle of the screen. And it says, the very last thing says, last sentence, there is no taking of swamp or skunk apes. So I asked, I said, hey man, not for nothing. I pulled it up on my phone. I'm like, hey man, I got a question if you don't mind. He's like, sure. He was so friendly. This is officer friendly. Absolutely right about that. Officer friendly. He's like, hey, I said, I got a question. He's like, sure, what? And I said, have you ever seen this before? And I showed it to him. Without hesitation, he says, yeah, the guy who wrote that did it as a joke. because if you're hunting in that area, you have to know every single thing in the pamphlet.
You have to
So
be able to repeat the information.
you have to be able to repeat the information word for word. So we use that as a test. Didn't he say that, Marian?
Yes, and I thought that was pretty clever. You know, to use
He
that.
was BSing. He was so BSing.
You think? Oh well, I think it's a good test, though. I do think
it is a good test, but I still think it was there specifically for a reason. I think that's just what they're. I think that's just what they tell people.
Oh,
when you ask.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said, this is what he said. If I followed it up with, no, he followed it up with, because I questioned him and I was like, really? And he goes, oh yeah. He goes, the guy did it like a long time ago when you put it together or whatever. And Chris chimed in and said, Chris goes, oh no, this is new. That's a brand new, this is 2023 version. And he goes, oh, they must have just left it in there.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
How come he didn't know that it was supposed to be word for word? Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think he was being straight on that. I think people are asking the questions, or maybe if anybody has seen Brian, I know Brian, Lala, everybody that goes to, Grizzly's channel, we called the number on the pamphlet asking said question, what it was in there for. So I don't know, maybe now all their officers know this is what you're supposed to say if anybody asks. Just a theory. It's just a theory. I could be completely 100% wrong.
And say, theoretically, if I did bag a skunk ape, what would you do? And see what the response is. Oh, so you did? Well, I'm not saying I did. I'm not saying I didn't, but what would you do? And go from there.
Yeah. Jim, I would agree with you, except I was looking pretty wretched. We was camping, so I was looking pretty wretched. Now, Patrick can tell you how wretched I look when I'm camping. Patrick has seen me. Gary saw me the day after camping. Gary knows. I'm looking. I'm all like, yeah.
They're your friends when they still talk to you after seeing you crawl out of the tent with your
right?
Exactly.
Right? Because listen, there's not a whole lot of men that have seen me without makeup, and pretty much the ones that have seen me without makeup, I've either been married to them or I have given birth to them. So those are usually about it.
I know. Somebody said, well, doesn't your husband mind you going hiking with all these men? And I'm like, if you can see us by the third day, there's nothing going on. Nobody wants to even get close to each other.
Right? You're like, don't get too close, okay?
No.
I know my deodorant might be working, but I don't know. I can't speak for anything.
I haven't part of my body yet, so they might jump on you.
It's fun though. It is so much fun because nobody really cares. Like, it's not even like anybody. Nobody really cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you have eyelashes on. Well, I care if I have eyelashes on. I at least need to have my eyelashes and my eyebrows. Like, for God's sakes. Like, yeah. There's been times like Matt and I've been hiking and I'll be like, did I sweat off my eyebrows yet? Like,
yeah.
True story, I swear. I've done that so many times.
No, things not to do when hiking, especially going Bigfooting. Don't, when somebody says, yeah, we're going to go down this trail about 4 miles and come to a great spot. Don't go, oh yeah. And then 2 miles down there say, I think I'm going to sit here for a while. I'm tired. No. I've had somebody say, you guys go on ahead. I just need to sit for a while and have my insulin must be down. I think I need to,
Right? Right?
Yeah, you're like, you did not bring anything. You know, you have this issue and you didn't bring anything. And now you tell us when we're still 3 miles from the parking lot,
Right.
we're gonna have to put you on our back and carry you out. I know that doesn't sound nice, but don't do that. Don't
Exactly.
do that.
Gary makes a really good point about the baby wipes. Definitely baby wipes. Baby wipes are your friend.
Yes, and make sure they're baby wipes or something for skin. I accidentally took a pit's bath with the, it was more for sanitizing. And boy,
And
did
it
it
had the
burn my
alcohol
skin.
in it.
Yes. Oh my God. That was miserable. Brought the wrong ones.
Yep. Yeah, definitely no alcohol.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, you can bring alcohol, but just not that alcohol. Not rubbing alcohol.
And if they catch you with it, tell it's a fire starter. This is my fire starter.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
What else?
Oh my goodness.
What else?
I mean, let's see, what else? Was there anything else on my list? Let me just see
Or
if
if you guys have questions, put them in there. I can't type out.
Absolutely. And and make sure your backpack is lightweight. You know, try to have a backpack that you're comfortable with. Marian and I talked about that, make sure that the straps on it are comfortable for you, that they're not cutting into you.
You definitely want one with the sternum strap, because otherwise you don't always have to get one with the waist belt, but that's nice if you're carrying a heavy pack. But definitely sternum strap, and you've got to check them. Some of them don't have the pocket for the water reservoir. That surprised me. I was looking for a new pack because my old one was splitting at the seams, and oh wow, this is nice. Has all the pockets organized, everything, and there's no place to put the water in. So that went back on the shelf.
Yeah. Another thing. Oh, another thing that I always have. I always have a walking stick. I always have a walking stick. You can use a walking stick 1,000 different ways.
I used it like going through water, going through a swamp. You can kind of feel around, make sure there's not a hole there. You can bang the grass to make sure there's not a snake in there, things like that.
Yep. And Brown Dwarf's right. A lot of people take transponders with them now, so that they can be, located, if you're out, and there's a lot of people using those transponders. Now, the kind of hiking and trekking that Brown Dwarf does is a whole other level than what we do. I mean,
I was gonna say
he goes, you know what I mean? Like he does like Bluff Creek, he's all over California. He's all over everywhere. So
jealous.
He definitely needs a transponder.
Yeah.
And if you can afford Brown Dwarf, how much are they? Because they used to be super expensive. They may be a little more reasonable.
I think there's some like little clip-on things and such. It depends on what you want with it. Do you want to be able to text back? Do you want to be able to send a canned message? Or you just want something that shows up on a map where you're at?
Right. One of the things I have to do when Matt's not with me, I have to share my location. And he stalks me. He's like, oh, where's my mom at right now? Where's she at? Oh, she's back at camp. Okay. All right. What's she doing?
Well, that's something I do. I mean, for mine, I always leave a map of where I'm going.
Yeah.
Trails I plan to take.
And
whoever I'm going to be with.
And when you are expected home or when you're expected out. That is really crucial to make sure somebody outside of what you're doing and who you're going with has that detailed information, where you are, your campsite number, literally.
And if you change plans, then text them and let them know. I mean, I've been in a situation where somebody was looking for me in the wrong place, so they got panicked.
Gary, funny. Gary sent me a really nice walking stick. He sent me a really nice one. Yeah, he made it for me.
Yeah, actually, my husband modified mine. He put a little bolt on the top, so now I can screw a camera, or I put a recorder on it. So then if I hear a noise, I can stop and raise it up in the air and get a good recording.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Now,
I love that.
when you're walking with it, it'll pick that up. It'll pick up the bang, bang, bang. But as soon as you hear a noise, I get it in the air, and I've got a 4-channel. I've got the H3 or something like that, 4 channels,
Mhm.
so it gets the surround sound.
Oh, that's awesome. I like that. I like that idea. Got me thinking now. Got me thinking. Got me thinking.
I'll send you a picture.
Yeah. Wow. This was a great show. I really enjoyed this show. I love these type of shows. I love bringing information and, like just kind of like just, and trust me, if anybody has any additional ideas or things we didn't like talk about or cover in the show tonight, leave them in the comments. Like literally put your comment in there and like what it, like of something maybe you have in your pack we didn't talk about that's really crucial that maybe we forgot or we missed or wasn't on our lists when we did, so definitely we love to hear new information and new ideas, because that's what this is about for us. Like we love to do this so much. And we just, while we were out there that night, we were like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, this would be a really good show because I'll bet a lot of people don't really kind of think about the logistics or things that we can use to help us. And little Patty, yeah, Q-tips, yeah, new skin. Is that a prop, Jim? Is that a
It's
prop?
like
Is that
a
a
liquid
product?
bandage. New skin is the liquid
Oh
bandage. Yes.
yes,
Yeah, that would be good to keep stuff out. Something else I learned the hard way is, trying to go super light because my pack gets heavy. I started looking at gadgets. It's got a compass,
yeah,
it's got a light, it's got a whistle, it's got this. And then I realized when I lost one, I just lost my compass, my light, my whistle, all in one thing. So sometimes these gadgets don't save as much as you think.
yeah. Gary has a really good idea too. He says I've got a hook on my walking stick and it's marked off in 12-inch intervals. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's nice
I
that,
like
especially,
that.
I came across the tracks. They weren't that great, so I never posted them. But yeah, I measured my stick and I put my stick down and I could use that. I didn't have a tape long enough for a stride. So I just used my walking stick and I knew exactly how much that measured. But having
Yeah,
that 12 inches in the picture itself, instead of having to go back and say, yeah, that was
right.
so many feet. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And Brian says how to prepare for a hike physically as a topic, how to maintain hiking shape year round.
You know what I found getting older is taking my time.
Yes. Not rushing.
I mean, I go out in the middle of July. I go out in the swamps, June, July, August. It's great time. It dries out. Sometimes it dries out. You can get stuff. And all I do is I just take more water and I take my time.
Yes.
I'm not trying to break any records. I sit down and take breaks and stuff like that.
Yes.
That's helped me getting older because I'm getting older. I can't keep up as much, but I can still get to the places I want to go to.
Yeah.
It just takes longer.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining the show and hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, and commenting afterwards. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you. Appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for being here tonight. I wanna thank Lala. Thank you so much for that, for that super sticker. And Patrick, thank you so much. I love you. I can't wait to see you again, Patrick. We had so much fun.
Brian needs to come up with a plan. Says he's a personal trainer. He needs to come up with a good workout.
Absolutely. And then Brian, and then you can come on the show and talk with us. We'll do a show together.
Oh, yeah. Things to do.
Yes. Let's do it. It's 1986. Yes. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for being here. Thank you guys all for being here so much. I really appreciate all of you. Like I said, you guys, it's for all of, I do it for all of you. I love it. I love doing this. I don't want to stop doing this. I want to continue to do this. So I hope my little beginning of the show, I hope I made some points. And Remember, everybody, spread love and kindness wherever you go.